Note that among these many curious souls, none are more intently curious than these two sleuths.
I'm on the track of a man in black. He disappeared before the smoke cleared. I'm on the scent of a resident. I'll track them well. Check the personnel. I'll let upon a double face. Two that are gone without a trace. He's a private investigation. When the Drood depart, wherefore our destination is the private investigation. He vanished into air, or vanished where in all creation. On the trail of a small detail, I drew a bead on a clear morning of a gate.
Judge each picture of a race fight speaks on his face. Just look at him, I rest my case, well there you are. And this man is brought to me was part of how you come from. We but till you made it here to go. He within scarce there's gold. the music hall. And there you are. How very glad we are that there you are. It isn't who you are, but where you are. And there you are. And great was to see how far done. There you are. There you are. Angela, my dear, you out there. Ah, there you are. Who's that with you then? Alice! Live! Victor! Deirdre! There you are! I'll just be there, there you are! Right, you rest the rest just where you are! Yes, there you are! That makes me home, you and me moving around where we are! So let me with the talking down the front! Never pray to just climbing up! So bring the feeling just to winding us! I want you with it, break my mind in us! You're finding us! Remind you, and on our lives we care for where you've been! And on the top we care how you got in! Thank you so very much. Good evening and welcome. A very warm welcome to all of you on this most thrilling of evenings here at the Music Hall Royale. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have the privilege of presenting for your approval the premiere performance of The Mystery of Edwin. This being a musicale with dramatic interludes. Now, as you are no doubt aware, our own Mr. Charles Dickens was full halfway through the creation of the greatest mystery novel of our time when he committed the one ungenerous deed of his noble career. He died, leaving not the slightest hint to the outcome that he had intended for this bizarre and uncompleted puzzle, the mystery of Edwin Drood. Tonight, however, ladies and gentlemen, when we reach the point in our story where Charles Dickens wrote no more, I shall be asking you, yes, even you, to vote on key questions regarding the outcome of our plot. Our company will then make its most earnest effort to meet this supreme challenge, to contrive an ending in accordance with your specifications. Exciting, isn't it? So come on, let's all be as vulgar and uncivilized as legally possible. Kick off your boots, loosen your corsets, and enjoy yourselves! Oh, and by the way, for those gentlemen among you who arrived alone and seek companionship up to the final curtain, you only need to speak to our stage manager, Mr. James Throttle, whose pleasures to see that
you need never be lonely again. I'll fix you up later, sir.
Oh, look, Jim, he wants fixing up right now. His tongue's hanging out. No, he's wearing a pink tie. Oh, but I would remind you, gentlemen, these sparkling and vivacious ingenues are not salaried employees, and so we do ask you to contribute generously to the cost of their theatrical studies, and make sure all goods are returned by tomorrow morning.
None the worse for wear.
Thank you. So by all means, let's continue with this evening's bill of fare for the first time ever. The completed musical edition of The Mystery of Edwin Drood. Cloisterham, the ancient cathedral city of Cloisterham, not a particularly encouraging setting for the Christmas season now upon us. A wintry shudder goes through the giant elms as they shed a gush of tears. And here we are in the home of Mr. John Jasper, choir master of Cloisterham Cathedral, choir master, composer, organist, and vocal instructor. John Jasper is blessed with the voice the angels themselves might envy, and who, dear ladies and gentlemen, better to essay the role than that gifted vocalist himself, Mr. Clyde Paget. John Jasper's thoughts are distracted by the arrival of the Reverend Septimus Crisparkle, portrayed this evening by that favorite fixture of the musical royale, Mr. Cedric Moncrief.
Sorry to hear you've not been well, Jasper. You do look a little worn.
Do I? Oh, I don't think so. And what's better, I don't feel so.
I'm glad to hear that you expect young Drood.
I expect the dear boy at any moment.
Ah, he will do you more good than a doctor.
More good than a dozen doctors, for I love the lad dearly.
Hello, Uncle!
Why, there's the lad now. I shall leave you to him.
My dear Uncle!
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, your eyes do not deceive you, hiding her distinctive form beneath the garb of young Edwin Drood. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm round of applause, if you will, for London's leading male impersonator and tonight's guest artiste, Miss Alice Nutting!
Any dinner, Uncle?
You forget, Ned, that uncle and nephew are words prohibited by express agreement.
Oh, of course you're right, Jack. But we only have a few dozen years or so between our ages. Wait, Jack, don't drink yet. I must propose a toast.
A toast to what, Ned?
He asked to what? To Rosa.
Rosa.
To the fair Miss Rosa Budd. Surely you've known that Rosa and I are soon to be wed.
It does not quite slip my mind.
Yes, this tedious ceremony in your creaking cathedral, John, and then off with my wonderfully pretty child bride to dusty Egypt, where I intend to shake things up a bit.
Is it certain, then? Egypt seems a desperate great distance.
Indeed it is, John. This portrait of Rosa is not one of my better efforts. Yet you choose to display it here. In heaven's name, why?
Because it reminds me of you, Ned, and of the happiness I wish you and Rosa.
Oh, I'm sure we'll be quite happy. Though our courtship suffers from an unavoidable slashness, owing to the fact that my dead godfather and her dead godfather had as good as married us at birth. Why the devil couldn't they have left us alone?
Tut, tut, dear boy.
Tut, tut. Yes, it is all very well for you, Jack, for you have the freedom to love whomsoever you choose. But if I had to choose, I would choose Rosa out of all of the wonderfully pretty girls in the world.
Don't stop, dear fellow. Do go on.
How I hurt your feelings, John.
How could you have hurt my feelings?
Jack, you're frightfully ill. There's a strange look come over your eyes.
I've been taking a medicine for a pain, an agony that overcomes me. I've been forced of late to seek treatment in London. Fear not, for the effects will soon be gone.
Oh, my dear uncle.
Then take it as a warning, Ned, and Edwin. This is a confidence between us.
It shall be sacredly preserved, John.
I have confided in you because
we are fast friends, and I love and trust you, you love and trust me. Both hands, Jack. My dearest Uncle Jack.
my dearest nephew Ned.
A life without your friendship would be like you said it said.
The winds of hell may blow, but as you well may know, our tears will call and face the call and face the fire below. For you,
For you,
for you,
for you. You kiss me more than brothers. We know no next of kin, and yet we know no others. Worse than meets the skin.
the blood that flows between us, the bond that ties us away. You kiss me
When our others see that we remain.
my dearest nephew Ned.
My dearest Uncle Jack, if men say words against you, I would make them take them back. A loyal lad am I, who'd be but glad to die. If by my death were extra breath for life for you, I'd die. It's true, for you.
For you,
You kinsmen more than brothers, we know no next of kin, and yet we know no others close to next of kin.
the blood that flows between us, the bond that ties us away. You kiss me
When our others see that we remain.
Miss Alice Nutting and Mr. Clyde Paget, ladies and gentlemen. trust the moderation of your applause merely means you're conserving your energies for the final curtain. But to continue our story, young Edwin Drood is visiting close to him to give his regards to his young bride-to-be, the fair Miss Rosa Bud, who, like Drood, is also an orphan. Rosa resides at Cloisterham's most respectable seminary for young ladies, aptly if not correctly named the Nun's House. Ladies and gentlemen, in the part of Rosa Bud this evening, that most delicate of English roses, that blossoming bud who is yet even to be plucked, the unspeakably lovely Deirdre Peregrine!
Rosa, the happiest of birthdays to you. I only pray I could say these words on each of your birthdays.
I fear that is not likely, since as you know, your own nephew Edwin and I will be departing for Egypt once we are married.
It was only a wish, Rosa. How lovely you look. I've awaited your birthday with eagerness.
Eagerness, Mr. Jasper?
Yes, your voice will no longer be as subject to the fluctuations of adolescence. And in what condition is your voice today, my dearest student?
As my music tutor, perhaps that question should best be answered by you, Mr. Jasper. Shall I sing the Mozart?
No, I've composed a song especially for you, my loveliest subject, on the occasion of your birthday. While not paving what it is, my life's blood is the most I can afford to offer.
Mr. Jasper, sir, I cannot sing these words. It would not be proper.
Why, whatever do you mean?
I do not deserve them.
As your music master, that should be my decision. From the beginning, please.
Between the very dead of night and day, upon a steely sheet of light, I lay and in the moonfall, I give myself to you, I bathe in moonfall, and rest myself in you. Before the cloak of night reveals some dawn, I hold its breath while it conceals the dawn, and in the moonfall, the sound is pleasant still, yet warm against me. Your skin will wander too. Of my heart, I feel its fingers, lingers, the veil of night shades, like maidens I betwixt our hearts let nothing Thank you, sir.
But lovely will not do. When you sing these words, you just make me feel you mean them. Once again, please.
Between the very dead of night gone over. Don't speak to her for a moment, and she'll be well.
She's not used to an audience. Besides, Mr. Jasper, you are such a conscientious master that I believe you make her afraid of you. No wonder.
No wonder.
You'd be afraid of them under similar circumstances, wouldn't you, Miss Landless?
Not under any circumstances.
Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, our own fiery spirit, the unpredictable Miss Janet Conover!
Good afternoon, Reverend Crisparkle.
Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Jasper. And may I introduce Neville Landless. He and his twin sister Helena have both arrived from Ceylon, where they no longer have any family. Neville has been entrusted to my care, and Helena will be staying here at the nun's house.
Welcome to Cloisterham, Mr. Landless.
I'm afraid young Master Neville has been given over to me to calm his rather hot-tempered nature and to help him make a new beginning for himself here in Cloisterham.
You and your sister lost your parents recently, Mr. Landless.
Their mother died when they were quite young. Now their stepfather has crossed over as well.
I'm most sorry.
There is no need for you bright gentlemen to console me. As it happens, it is well that my stepfather died when he did, or I might have killed him.
The newest member of our company, ladies and gentlemen, especially the ladies, Mr. Victor Grinstead!
I surprise you, sir?
You shock me, unspeakably shock me.
You never saw him beat my sister. My stepfather was a brute, Mr. Jasper. In desperation, Helena tried on more than one occasion to flee our stepfather's cruel and miserly hand, even disguising herself as a boy, but to no avail. As for myself, I have had from my earliest remembrances to subdue a bitter and deadly hatred which has made me secret and revengeful.
I say!
However, sir, your kindness and goodwill have deeply moved me. I pledge to change my ill-tempered ways and to break new ground for myself.
There's the lad. He'll soon blend in, Mr. Jasper.
Your pupil, Mr. Jasper, she sings beautifully.
Thank you.
Your efforts have not been without success.
I trust so, Mr. Landless.
And may I inquire if your relationship extends beyond that of pupil and master?
Heavens no, Neville. Miss Violet's betrothed to young Edwin Drood, Mr. Jasper's nephew.
You do well to cast your eyes and interest in other directions, sir.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Jasper.
No pardon is necessary. However, I must be off. Choir practice, I fear. I wish you well in your new life, Mr. Landless.
Thank you. Thank you indeed, Mr. Jasper. I trust we shall meet again. And I should like to meet this Drood and see what sort of man is worthy of the affections of Miss Bud.
Steady, lad, steady!
You are feeling better now, aren't you?
So much, thank you.
These surroundings, which may seem familiar to you, are new and unsettling to me. You will be my friend, won't you?
I'll be as good a friend as such a mite of a thing can be to such a womanly and handsome creature as you.
Who is Mr. Jasper?
My Edwin's uncle and my music master.
You know that he loves you. Oh, don't! He terrifies me. I feel I am never safe from him. He's made a slave of me with his looks. Forced me to keep silent without his uttering a single threat. What is it, pretty one, that you fear? I fear the moon falls. I fear the night skies. Night eyes will burn and blindingly. There no more of me undress. sometimes just will sometimes wait till these replies never know. Flying over nothing of people like you, so that soon I only see but you. So let's say
Oh, I'm sure we'll have another reprise of that before the night is over, don't you think? But we now step out of the chaste sanctity of the nun's house and travel, for reasons that will soon become clear, to the wickedest corner of the wickedest hole in the fabric of the city of London. Below the street and beneath contempt lies the opium den of the Princess Puffer. Here the universal tongue of opium is spoken, with its sub-dialects of prostitution, burglary, violence for puppets, and murder. And reigning supreme over this blemish on England's fair ground is the Princess Puffer, who ministrates to her client's needs, and here's more than she tells. Portrayed this evening by the grande dame of the musical royale, that's Queen Mother of the Red Light District, that's good woman of ill repute, our very own and beloved Miss Angela Pratsock!
Don't pie. That's what I tell them. If it did, would I be here? Mixing pipes, what then I sells them for a pint of rotten beer. Throat to cut, 2 pocket thruppence, then yen slap to cop some sleep. Bash a face for bleeding tuppence, pure disgrace to work so cheap. So I says, there'll be a sinner for the price of London gin. You can't pay for 1 square dinner with the wages of sin. So, call out profit, it would buy this sack of skin. On the whole, there ain't much profit in the wages of sin. In the wages of sin. In the wages of sin. Fancy seeing you here 2 nights in a row. Piece of trumpet you've been buttering up instead of me. What's the raspberry turtle? I do begging your pardon, miss. First night out on the town with the Mr. Pie. Numerous occasions. And whatever he's got in store for you, praise God, it will be over within an instant. Hello, sir. Keep me up in the show. Why, of course, love. We're no friends. What did they pay you, love? I don't know. I've seen girls from gutter families, from rich men, with buttery wives, and I say, come past the jar, please, over nuptial breakfast trays. Over there, in bed 11, sleeps a bleeding hypocrite. Spends his nights, almost past the heaven, spends his nights amongst this shit. Oh, I do be begging your pardon. It won't happen again, I promise. Where was I? Oh, was I there? Oh, yes! Shit! So why I says, don't take half measures, do things right, and dig right in. In this world, there's better treasures than the wages of sin. I get breath with our wages on. Come on, give your old love some help with the last line, and I with our wages on. Cold bloody hell! Now you can do better than that. Get up off your bum. Get up! Get up off your bum! Get up! And give us the next then.
The meanest room in London, and as the light of day steals into the room, would not the parishioners of Cloisterham be astounded to discover, in bed 11, the goodly choir master himself, Mr. John Jasper.
Lovin', I need more London and wine and quickly. My task is only half finished, and your medicine is less potent than usual.
Lolum, so you're mixing opium with wine these days. I'll fix it for you now.
Yes. Before I can get to the changes of colors and great landscapes, I must be rid of him. Him, Edwin.
That's fair, there's no one there.
There he is.
Yes, of course. Now be still and have yourself a little journey.
Seem to recall what I said. Could you please direct me to the nearest railway station? I seem to have gotten lost.
5 and threepence you owes me.
That seems a large sum of money for such a small courtesy. However, if you're that needy, and the railway station.
The nearest is an old gate. 10 minutes of a walk from the river.
I thank you. Incredible.
Who are you then? And what are you?
I wonder how many of you noticed that meaningful statement. That sounded like a clue to me. Might we have it again, my dear? Yes, once more, please.
Who are you then? And what are you?
What indeed? but it is now the following day as we return to less sordid surroundings and meet Cloisterham's leading citizen, Mayor Thomas Sapsey!
Good afternoon, Mayor Sapsey.
Mayor Thomas Sapsey! Ladies and gentlemen, your kind indulgence for a short announcement. The part of Mayor Thomas Sapsey will not, I repeat, will not be portrayed by Mr. James Hitchens as stated in your program. Mr. Hitchens, as many of you know, has been more frequently seen in the bar in the rear than in front of the footlights. So it would come to no surprise to many of our regulars that Mr. Hitchens is once again massively indisposed, due to injuries he received while fighting for a lady's honor. Apparently she wanted to keep it. And so, his part will be portrayed this evening by your own humble chairman and obedient servant. I refer, ladies and gentlemen, to myself, Mr. William Cartwright. And I hope this last-minute substitution meets with your approval. And I might add, this is more your luck than mine.
Good afternoon, Mayor Sapsey.
Good afternoon, Mr. Crisparkle. And,
these are my new charges from Ceylon, Mayor Sapsey. I'm taking them to meet. And in fact, here he comes now. Helena, Neville, allow me to introduce Edwin Drood.
Sir,
Sir, I congratulate you on your good fortune, Mr. Drood.
good fortune, sir.
Your betrothal, sir.
Oh, yes, Rosa.
Our young Ned is soon to depart himself for your segment of the globe, Neville.
Ceylon, Mr. Drood.
No, but much the same Egypt.
Oh, to make your future, sir.
No, to ensure that Egypt has one. I will surely be taking over my family's engineering concern there. And I plan to pull off a miracle.
Pray, what miracle?
The Cairo Transverse, Mr. Landless. A thoroughfare for commerce and coach travel across the desert to Alexandria.
A monumental task, Mr. Drood.
Yes,
One wonders from where one will obtain, for example, the paving stones.
from the pyramids.
No!
Yes, my study shows there's enough rock on the top half of the Great Pyramid alone.
This is English blasphemy. Is it not enough that you take our delicate brew of tea leaves and likewise improve it by pouring cow's milk into it?
Neville, please, let's not raise our voices here in Cloisterham High Street.
I mean no offense, sir.
I do not mean for my awkward ways to arouse such emotion, or to ruffle your splendid feathers, Miss Bud.
I'm sure Mr. Landless only feels passionately about his part of the world, Edwin.
As long as he keeps his passions in check.
I fear I have not yet adapted myself to your restrained climate, Master Edwin, Miss Bud.
My uncle has already given me accounts of your hot temperament and past, sir. I hope you have left them both behind you.
My reputation precedes me here, a situation I needs must fear. Much hope have I of blending in with this my shade of skin. I thought I cleansed my snake and lash, but they anticipate my past.
What shall I show them? Equally vexed?
What do I owe them? What they expect? Publish the subject on display. It comes along today. For immigration to this location has brought us station down on high. This destination, the recreation, in rank and file and English coffee, and it's British am I.
British darling and English am I. There are two subjects we will discuss.
One is our monarch, the other's us.
And yet I fear you nothing to say.
A British
Burma. What's all the fuss? All terra firma belongs to us.
Our British subject, bred and born, and subject not to stone. On immigration, to this occasion, a protestation. Directed by the explanation of a British MIS on immigration, protestation,
Sapsi, it's just as I've been saying. There's an instinctive rivalry between this landless fellow and my own dear boy, and I fear his hot-blooded Eastern temperament.
Oh, I think you exaggerate the matter, Mr. Jasper.
I will go mad. Do you not realize there are more than one side, one face to all things in nature? Beneath Neville's tainted English accent, an adopted English manner, there is a heathen madness, a tribesman madness, a half-blooded, half-bred half-caste who would kill as easily as Homer's own sleek hair.
Now, Mr. Jasper, this is quite extraordinary.
To the contrary, sir, nothing could be more ordinary. See, I myself suffer from the same sort of duality on occasion. Sometimes I will forget things, and in going back to retrieve them, half expect to meet myself rounding a corner I've already turned.
And what's about me? Having to pay your chairman and this mayor Sapsi bloke at the same time? It's damn confusing.
Indeed, like over a two-sided Neville madness, I find that I am not myself these days. For all I know, I might be used as more than root feed up or two inside my mind.
I am right within the heat of two. I am from scene to scene. What's more we two, we four, I mean, are we in a bind?
What is it I? Is it me?
And if I'm him, and if I'm he, each one of us might not agree on what to do.
And if I take a first exam to give myself the need, if I support is right or wrong,
I'll go along with you. Hippity, whoppity, droppity, droppity, close to a shilling, twice central Florida, which you not into the currency, forward to find a six visible center of the court. Bob show welcome for pennies and games, the two-sided minister, do not exception, which you not from the full with deception, to find a six visible center of the court. Odds or evens,
heads or tails,
it's high or low,
black or white,
or up or down, or left or right, or night or day. Nature seldom never fails, the most obliging need for life, and undisclosed close beside you up the spring.
the shadows in the shining ball.
If there's a rose, there's a thorn, the good is dead, and yet we smile. For life's division, the verse it seems to work more in reverse. If things are better, they'll be worse in just a while like this. Penny, one penny, company, dropping, come to a shilling for a second of floor, and they're working on into their currency forward to find their face for a second of court. That's the road for business and games, and she's not a thing, but we're not accepting. Pushing out the red and blue, and you find us Hippity, woppity, doppity, droppity. You've convinced me, Mr. Jasper. I shall certainly keep my eyes fixed upon this noble landless.
A brilliant and original idea, Mayor Sapsi. But forgive me, for now I must change. Good day, sir.
Bye-bye. We now step out of Cloisterham High Street and fall in step with the relic, known to the residents of Cloisterham only as Durdles. A gentleman whose knowledge of the cathedral rules is only exceeded by his capacity for wine and spirits. He is wending his way towards an important assignation.
What's that you say, Bill?
I said an assignation.
Oh,
Mayor Thomas Sapsy, who lives just a little round behind.
what's that you say, Bill?
I said a little round behind.
So have you.
I didn't come here to be insulted.
Why? Where do you usually go?
I'm not a complete fool, you know.
Oh, which bit is missing?
You, sir, are next to an idiot.
Pleased to meet ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's saying the row of Durdles this evening. The Clown Prince of the Musical Royale, your friend, not mine. I give you, and I don't want him back, Mr. Nick Cricker.
Assisted, dear friends, by my own lad, young Nick Cricker II.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, a warm round of applause for Nick Cricker and son.
Afternoon, Mayor Sapsi, your lordship, sir.
Good afternoon, Durdles.
I'm begging your pardon, sir. The cough, it's a touch of tubertism.
No, you mean rheumatism.
No, sir, I've been working on your dead wife's grave.
Please refer to the late Mrs. Thomas Sapsy as just that, Durdles. The late Mrs. Thomas Sapsy. That is how I like to refer to her. Indeed, that is how I like to think of her.
She was. What do you mean?
No, one at a raffle. But is my wife's tomb ready?
Yes, Governor. The door is all ready for mine scrubbing. She'll be much happier when we moved her from her temporary grave, though it's not been at all damp and the moles won't have been able to get at her for ages. Though there's nothing much you can do about the worms. I mean, they've already made her meal Mrs. Sepsi, no matter how...
Yes. And who is this thing? This boy?
My protein, Squire. Name it Deputy. I put the local in your wife's grave myself. Oh, your lordship?
How disgusting! Oh, why don't you up, stupid?
Oh, I did grow up stupid. That's right. I have the key right here. It'll be my pleasure to unlock that door and slide your old woman right in there tomorrow. There's room enough for all the royal family to have afternoon tea.
Yes.
That crypt is a national treasure, if I may make so bold, your grace. In fact, Mr. Jasper asked if I take him down into the crypts to see it.
You might like that line to your list of suspicious statements.
Stay on, Bill. We don't want these people leaping to conclusions without all the facts in hand. Otherwise, they'll all be running off to the races!
Stop! That is scheduled for later on in the program. We mustn't stop the dramatic momentum we are building. For now... Oh, shut up, you silly cow! For now, we must descend to the darkness in hopes of shedding new light upon our curious story as we follow Durdles and Deputy to the graveyard of Cloisterham Cathedral.
serve ya. You murderer! What? What's that you say? Darling, stop talking such lunacy and don't worry about this boy. I only pray that...
Look, me! I'll stone your eyes out next time!
Watch you, young wretch. Why do you assault me in this way, young deputy?
Are you crazy? You're awfully assaulted, Mr. John Jasper.
Peculiar, lad. Salmon is infectious, you sir. But, ooh, that was excellent wine you gave me. More potent than I'm accustomed. Did you get to take a look inside Mrs. Sepsey's crypt while I was asleep? No. I seem to have gotten lost. Oh, well. I was lost myself in a fitful dream. I imagined someone touched me and took something from me. And here's what it was. Mayor Sepsey wouldn't like me leaving her mausoleum keys lying about in front of his wife's crypt. He gave me strict instructions that the keys were, well, and now the key to Mrs. Sapsey's tomb seems to be missing. What do you think, Mr. Jasper? I think that I've guessed you at any moment for Christmas dinner. 1,000 thanks for the curious and interesting tour. Though I must say, your world to me does remain somewhat of a mystery. Oh, that's the great mystery as you are to me, Mr. John Jasper.
But oh, there's precious little joy close to them, as Edwin and Rosa at last speak words they have long felt.
No, Rosa, we're not legally bound to marriage.
Then let us change to brother and sister from this day forth.
Never to be husband and wife.
Never.
I am honor-bound to confess that this thought does not originate with you alone, Rosa.
I know, dear one, you have not been truly happy with our engagement. Nor have I.
I am sorry, Rosa.
And I for you, poor boy.
Oh, only if our marriage had not been assured since birth, then we know how we truly feel toward each other.
If we were perfect strangers, how perfect life would be.
I know if I adore you, you know if you love me. Too much we see together to just love you.
Too much we sing together,
And I assume the future,
and I presume that you will
if we were perfect strangers, I'd find my way with ease. I'd see the path before me, the forest from the trees. Could life be real without you? You're always there.
How do I feel about you?
I care.
Near to touch you, my dearest Ned. How much we Brother,
Sister,
I pray you take this clasp left to me by my mother as a vow of our eternal friendship. God bless you.
God bless you, dear.
How do I feel Could we keep our change of plans for Mr. Jasper for a while, Eddie?
Oh, yes, of course you're right. Why give him such sad news on Christmas Eve? But now we must be off, for he's expecting us for dinner, and I fear there's a storm brewing.
What a bizarre climate you have here in Cloisterham. First snow, and now this threatening storm. The gods must be angry.
God must be angry, Neville, not gods. We use the singular in England.
What a storm for Christmas Eve!
Yes, it was a night like this that Rosa's mother died.
Neville tells me you were once engaged to Rosa's mother, Mr. Chris Sparkle.
Yes. But I fear I was a bit too Anglican. A bit too angular for her taste. And then, at a seaside party, celebrating her second anniversary, only a few months after Rosa was born, she finally slipped while walking on a verge along the cliffs and drowned in the embrace of the ungrateful waves. But no, let us follow Mr. Jasper's lead and forget about our grievances with life and with each other over a steady Christmas dinner.
And now all! Sir, we were late when we fought the storm all the way, and I couldn't...
Well, it is wondrous to see you again. Let me take your things.
I had no idea you had taken on domestic staff, Uncle!
Edwin, Mr. Lovelace will take you seriously.
No fear of that.
Now, lads. Rosa, you've no idea how good it is to have you in my chambers.
Miss Bud, how is it that in the season of holly you remind me of the flowering hibiscus?
And how is it that you remind me of an inconsistent baker, Neville? For while your metaphor seems quite stale, your manners are uncommonly fresh!
You go too far, sir.
Gentlemen, this is Christmas Eve, and I will tolerate no further unchristian-like behavior between you. Now, this mulled wine is very good stuff indeed. I prepared it especially for you from a recipe I obtained on a recent trip to London.
None for me, thanks.
Now let us drink deep.
This wine is more potent than usual, Jack.
Well, I thought you lads would like it.
The goose is cooked.
Miss Bud, I think that your next Christmas dinner will be in Egypt.
My God, Landon! Perhaps you should accompany us to Cairo. Rosa and I could use someone to carry our bags.
What?
Someone better acquainted with a foreign tongue than he is with minding his aim.
Gentlemen and ladies, please be seated.
Sir, I don't much like your tonguettes, but Zelensky wear a finer cut than mine, but a waistcoat worn, consuming, torn, and faggot to feed on you.
Something in the speech seems ominous to me. The judgment of each man promises to me.
Praise to him divine, for we should be glad.
Won't you try some wine? But dearest nephew Ned, I wish to wish you well. The well is yours before you, just like
Oysters on this chair.
Landless as you are, and your blood is hot, but less of pure. And I'm sure that your history will indicate how some have passed through your veins, through the substance.
Something says that choose I feed upon my grave. Can my strength and will complete with everything?
Cookies what they say, when fall upon the land.
like this father day. But dearest deepest friends, may I propose a toast to Rosa Bud and Edwin Drood. 3 cheers!
Here's the roast. How very blessed are we, without so many starved, the kingdom come thy will be done.
Which one of you shall come?
Lances cut like flint to bow with daggers drawn. I glare at you who dare presume to stare into my face. My white and share my life, I see you dead. Bullshit burns away.
I feel it, I fear it. We are friends and yet thou wilt soon forget. Hearing Neville's threat every day.
In younger days I hungered for another, Rosa's mother. After Rosa's birth she left the earth, now dust is all I wear.
That I'm at rest
Now let's have no more ill will between you.
Please, Edwin.
There is no longer any cause for rivalry between us, Neville. You have my friendship if you wish it.
Then a Merry Christmas to you, Edwin. What a storm for Christmas Eve. I must stroll down to the river weir to see this bit of nature unchecked.
And I will go with you. Let us face the fate of yours together, Neville.
And we must retire to Nun's house before the storm. Good night, Edwin.
My dear.
Everyone.
Rosa.
Be careful, I just threat, Neville.
Majesty, ladies,
Will you go with that?
No, I have plans I must execute. But I shall not let you go that way. You shall wear my own humble, yet serviceable, gay coat.
Edwin, your destiny calls.
Stand by, uncle!
Shall we free meet again, when, if ever? It is now late the next day, Christmas Day to be sure. The storm is over, but in its wake, there's to be found no trace of young Edwin Drood.
Reverend, oh, Mr. Crisparkle, I know something terrible has happened to Edwin.
Oh, let us wait until my assistant Bassett reports. I'm sure you've heard the sentiment voiced that no news is most certainly good news. Ah, and in fact, here he is now. Bassett, what news?
No news.
There, you see? I don't believe you've met my assistant Bassett. His chief occupation is in guiding excursion parties around our church. Quite the showman is our Bassett, yet tragically misplaced.
Misplaced?
Yes, you see, Mr. Bassett carries with him a secret. Now, Rosa, what do you think Mr. Bassett has done?
Oh dear, nothing dreadful, I hope.
Mr. Bassett has written a play. A tragedy.
The thorn of anxiety.
When will it be performed, Mr. Bassett?
Never.
Sometimes I think Mr. Bassett has a lot of pride in its lack of support. But I hope to see Mr. Bassett's work performed someday.
I too, Mr. Bassett.
I love the theatrical world, but there are many stages beyond the proscenium. I long to play a larger part.
Then, Bassett, use your enviable creativity to find some accounting for our young Ned.
That assignment I eagerly accept.
Oh, my dear, hopeless Edwin.
How like her mother she looks. Had the Lord seen fit to smile on me, had her mother not married another, nor met her death 2 years later at that pleasure party by the sea, I might have been Rosa's.
Father, I need your prayers.
Rise, my child. The cathedral bell summons us.
Is it not significant, Mayor Sapsy, that Neville Landless was last seen fleeing the district?
You've convinced me, Mr. Jasper. A secret murderer could be hiding in Cornham's most affectionate bosom. Oh, good evening, madame. Yes, and all signs do point to young Neville Landless.
My thoughts exactly, sir.
I shall instruct a few strong fellows to bring him here, using whatever force is necessary, so that we may question him.
You do that, sir.
We'll find Neville Landis right enough, and when we find him, we'll educate the murderous swine. Right.
With any luck, we'll have a hanging for Christmas.
Fetch the dogs!
Mr. Jasper, look what I discovered.
Why, it's my coat! What did Mr. Edwin last night? Blood and rivets and blood! Oh God, there's blood on it! Where'd you find this?
Under a rock by the river. Where?
My dear boy is murdered! I take this oath
this evening, Philip?
That's right, Bill.
Well, I mean, it hardly seems worth you coming down from Stratford each night, now does it? You seem to specialize in these narrow parts of late.
Not by choice, Mr. Cartwright.
Now, let's see. In Julius Caesar, you played the part of
A senator.
so at least you're in for the kill. You know, if you think of it, you wonder why Mr. Charles Dickens created your part at all, unless he had a more promising future in mind for you.
That's been my solace in the role, Mr. Cartwright.
Yes, I'm sure. Still, you do understudy Mr. Clive Paget as Don Jasper. Surely one of these
In
days...
actuality, Mr. Paget claims never to have missed a performance in his entire career.
Well, Philip, our first act is almost done, and our second act is considerably shorter than the first. Is there a song you'd have ready to attend? Shall we let them sing, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, why not indeed?
Well, as a matter of happenstance, Mr. Cartwright, I do have in common with my role this evening aspirations as an author and have composed a brief song which I venture to say underscores the dilemma I share with the character Bazzard I portray.
It's titled Mr. Bax.
Never the luck, Mr. Cartwright.
Ladies and gentlemen, an unscheduled diversion in our journey this evening, the debut of an unpublished, and perhaps rightly unheard, composition, Mr. Philip Bax singing his own Never the Luck.
Never the luck, and never the lead, and never you mind, they say. In time we love haste, the line in the light, and I'll have my night someday. Still, each precious part seems over and done before I've begun to speak. Why cast out my line and keep my hand in, but I'll not stand in this week. Some starless night, they'll go towards the wings. Who here dances and sings? That's when yours truly springs, and seeing me then they will cry. Why? He knows each line and everyone's cue. We must let him do the part. On each center stage, the music will play. I'll waltz my way into your heart.
Reverend Sparkle, what have I done?
Nothing, lad. Where's Edwin Drood?
Where is? Why do you ask me that way?
Because you were the last one seen in his company, and he is nowhere to be found.
Mayor Sapseed used to question him.
You left for the river with Edwin Drood at what time?
In all honesty, I cannot recall anything of what transpired once Edwin and I reached the river.
There were these bloodstains upon your shirt front and upon your walking stick, Mr. Landis.
I acquired these bloodstains, sir, just now, when these Men of yours dragged me forcibly back from the countryside where I had been walking.
Neville Landless, as acting constable of this district, I place you under arrest.
How many of them did it take to maul you in this way?
8.
You have an interesting way with the law here in Cloisterham, Mr. Sapsy. And you, Mr. John Jasper! 4 days now, you have been warning all Cloisterham of impending violence between your nephew and my brother. What do you know of all this?
Only that my nephew is dead.
Mayor Sapsy, I warrant the young Master Neville has no knowledge of Drood beyond that which he has freely volunteered.
And you shall volunteer nothing further, Neville!
I would remind you and your brother that there's the issue of murder at hand.
Before you utter that word again, you laughable man. Perhaps you would be good enough to supply a body, a corpse, a victim, something more tangible than an errant nephew, a timorous uncle, and a ludicrous city official who has no backing for his charges beyond pure pomp and sheer circumstance.
She's right, you know, Mayor Sapsy. You cannot possibly arrest young Neville without Master Edwin's body.
Oh, very well. Release him.
Oh, bless you, Mr. Crisparkle!
I am overpaid.
I only wish I could express my gratitude without this strange, somewhat geographically untraceable accent.
Yes, well, let's all pause for a moment, shall we? Here is where matters now lie. Edwin Drood has vanished and may likely be alive,
Dead. George Jasper has sworn vengeance upon his nephew's murderer.
Most of this populace suspect to be Neville Landless.
But the charges against Neville have been rescinded thanks to Helena Landless's stealery of soul and the support of the kindly
Reverend Mr. Crisparkle, who once was engaged to
Rose's deceased mother. Meanwhile, it's difficult to know what one should make of.
The drunkard, stonemason, and turtles.
And his young apprentice, Deputy.
Not to mention
the mysteriously notified buyer of opium, Princess Puffer.
statements considered during the interval with one admonition. Should you lead to conclusions without all the relevant information, you may find yourself carried up to the races! Which brings us, rather adroitly I think, to a song. For one night of musical round would not be complete without its trademark anthem, Up to the Races! Quick and loose and soft to lead the best of us astray. The wisest move in life is just to wait. Otherwise we're galloping emotions run away like horses at the gate. All to the races, all to the races, all to the race we go. But where the chase is and what the place is, we seldom seem to know. Hearts and mountain and a war pursuit, a man no longer soft inside it like save a grace. Bound the egg into the ground, they suddenly will view a very private face. Then, off to the races, off to the races, where flirting faces hold. We're saving graces, so different places, the need for love and cold. On your assumption, I think the mountain might be real. I'm just trying like an egg running blind, lagging behind you, why you be?
Well, that's not pleasing, Victoria. That's not pleasing, like you wonder how others would do. Probably my husband thinks he has appropriated said shade, like me amused. Woo!
Up to the races, the royal races, the same as all folks do. When she embraces, her royal graces, same in one says you. We're all
Ladies and gentlemen, a warm round of applause, if you please, for our fully trained orchestra under the cryptic baton of Mr. Thomas Purcell. Pray take your time in resuming your seats, madame. Don't worry about being the last. It only means we're all looking at you. By the by, I hope you're all able to locate our laboratorial facilities, which I might add are second to none in the district. As a matter of fact, there are none in the district. Incidentally, if you're enjoying our modest efforts tonight, I heartily recommend that you return to this venue next week when the Musical Royale presents its most ingenious work, Hamlet, Part 2. Right. We are, I trust, rested, relaxed, restored, renewed, and more than ready to conclude what has been the most ambitious endeavor to date on the Musical Royale, act of solving, by your vote, shortly to be counted, the mystery of Edwin Drood. 6 months have passed, the English summer is in progress, and still there's to be found no trace of young Edwin Drood. And all close to him is agog with rumor and suspicion. But there are further developments. 2 inquiring sleuths are about to enter on our scene. One being the Princess Puffer, whom you've already met. The other being a detective, a man of mystery, who wears a bulky coat, a fulsome beard, and goes by the name of Dick Datchery.
Huh?
I said Dick Datchery.
Right!
These strangers approach with grand intentions and great expectations, which I might add we're presenting in Brighton next week. And like ourselves, the Princess Puffer and Detective Dick Datchery are just now arriving at Cloisterham Station. There's John Jasper, back from another treatment in London. And in his wake, note that among these many curious souls, none are more intently curious than these 2 sleuths.
I'm on the track of a man in black. He disappeared before the smoke cleared him of the scent of a resident of Second Wells. Investigation. When the Drood depart, wherefore art a destination is the private investigation. He vanished into air, or vanished where in all creation. On the trail of a small detail, I drew a bead on a cliff warning of a gate, as my number face in Honey Cove. To the fog we go. I'm not a man of any means. A search and scan behind the scenes is a private investigation. When the Drood depart, wherefore art the destination is a private investigation. But from this private club to a public situation is a private. It's a private. When the Drood depart, wherefore art the destination, private investigation. I think the Drood account not beyond my estimation. Appear and pry and scrutinize, steering by, pursuing mine. I clearly spy with my sly private eye.
Reverend, there you are. All things bright and beautiful tonight, don't you think?
Yes, as if the stars were mere punctures through the ceiling of earth, through which heaven's light can be seen. Or something along those lines. I only wish my assistant Bassett, who is away on business, could see a night such as this.
there, boy. Here's a face we've not seen before. Welcome to Fair Cloisterham, Captain. I will be an official greeter for all visitors who might have the price of a bottle of wine on them. My name is Doodles.
My name is Datchery. Dick Datchery. And I was wondering if lodgings could be found in these parts.
Oh, no doubt, Mr. Datchery.
Something out of the way and inconvenient.
We have any number of out-of-the-way and inconvenient lodgings here in Cloisterham, sir.
Close to the cathedral as well.
Excuse me! I couldn't help but overhearing. The only such accommodation I know of along those lines is a single lodging above the room of Mr. John Jasper. He's a great admirer of my own.
Ah, is that the man who has been much afflicted by the loss of his nephew, Edwin Drood?
Wait on, boy. This much afflicted fellow, John Jasper. Is he always dressed in mourning these days?
That's the man. You won't catch me going near him again.
Why is that, boy?
Because I'm not going to be lifted off my feet and choked again.
Ah, I find that most interesting. I shall enjoy watching the comings and goings of this town.
Ahem. That man should speak to his tailor.
Excuse me, miss. Could you tell me where Mr. John Jasper is? Oh, are you ill? No.
I always look this way.
Rosa, we both have been guilty of neglecting your lessons. When shall we resume?
Never, sir.
Am I being politely told that you have abandoned your studies altogether?
The politeness is yours, not mine. I beg not to be questioned. I will not answer any more. At least I have that in my power.
Rosa,
I do not wish to hear you, sir.
I do not forget how many eyes command a view of us, but you shall hear me even against your wishes. Dearest Rosa, charming Rosa, even when my dear boy was engaged to you, I loved you madly. I hid my, secret loyalty well, did I not?
You were false to him, sir, daily and hourly as you are now. You know you made me afraid to open his kind eyes to the truth, that you're a bad, bad man.
How lovely you look. You are more beautiful in anger than in repose. I do not ask for your love. Give me yourself and your hatred, that pretty rage and that enchanting scorn. It will be enough for me. I warn you, sweet witch, rare charmer, you must stay or do more harm than can be undone.
You're mad!
I mean to show you how bad my love is.
Love? You dare to use that word!
Yes.
Love is but a word that wandered here from pastures green, where it was rarely said or seen or seldom saw. Innocent enough it was intended to be used on rare occasions, not abused by every tongue. Rarely has a word been ever taken so in vain, but little meaning might remain is quickly blown. Never has there been so quite exalted such a term. Your silent syllables kept firm, how dread this word. You call it love, I call it rude. I call it love, I call it lewd. I call it cruel, I cannot bear to call it love. I think it's foul, I think it vile. No more I'll take the cunning guile. There was the thought, looking to see in the name of love. Rosebud, the dainty little face, whose every curve confirms that she's a child of girl and your pride. Rosa is the only soul in Cloisterham, it seems, who senses just the sort of dreams you dream at night. Did you think your stare would stop my seeing every fibre of my being? Told me since I was betrothed that your most unnatural and tempting conscious words I dare not mention even now how much I loathe. To know your wife, to see your clutch, to hear your voice, to feel your touch.
Is it so much?
A dreadful task,
For me to ask
to even sleep, the name of love. I will not fear my tragic flight. I have a choice. I take to flight. But not for me. Give to death a crave. The name of love. 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 The name of love.
And now I have one of the very bits of information I came here for. I didn't come this far, but to turn away, with but one piece of puzzle in my hand. Never in my wretched life have I been this close to anything I've said about to happen. What will I be to turn back now? Just when I'm winning. I never understood those in my hearings up. Just when they should push on. Once I bet my last 10 pence and won. Twice as rich then friends said call it done. How sad I seem. So that you are just dreaming then. 20 pence instead of 10. I doubled up my bet again. In life you say the same as when you're done if you lose. You're just where you began if you've won. Don't quit while you're ahead. Just press your blessed luck instead.
Try to think what might be the best. Use the heart that beats within your breast. Never rest. Don't quit while you're ahead. Sing out, there's more in store for me.
I see my dream ship finally coming in like a steamship, anchoring into wind.
Lift your chin. Remember what I said. Don't quit while you're ahead. Let's go.
Higher there must be not a tip to be only just 3 weeks away from me, hopefully. Don't quit while you're ahead. Don't worry how you tread. Yes,
There's the chance. One, my dream that is mine, a romance. White, ripe upon the vine.
don't resign. No, there's never an end. Don't quit while you're ahead. To stay tarring, tara. Boom, bang and clash and hooray, hurrah. Boom, bang and clash and la-di-da. Don't quit while you're ahead. Don't say I'm off to bed. Farewell.
Well, I know don't stand another chance. I'm quick, close enough to taste.
s'il vous plaît.
And now, at last, we've seen the sight that's glittering and light, shimmering in the dim of the night. So long have we been blind, but finally we have wind up what the truth is history. Finally once again,
Ladies and gentlemen, it was at this point in our story where Charles Dickens laid down his pen forever. And so, my dear friends, this is all we shall ever know for sure about the mystery of Edwin Drood. Tonight, however, ladies and gentlemen, at least within the confines of this humble theater, we shall together solve, resolve, and conclude the mystery of Edwin Drood. One minor mystery we can resolve immediately, though it has little to do with the plot at hand. You see, most literary experts agree that our inquiring detective, Mr. Dick Datchery, is someone we have already met. A character from Act 1 who was roaming close to him, disguised as Datchery, better to investigate the disappearance of Edwin Drood. And, as many of you no doubt already guessed, his part has been taken thus far this evening by that master and mistress of man impersonation, Miss Alice Nutting! Oh, but this does not mean that Edwin Drood is Datchery. Oh no, far from it. The reason for Miss Nutting's portrayal is, well, that she was contracted to appear in 2 acts, and our management believes in an honest week's work for an honest day's pay, if you catch my drift. Which brings us to our first key question. Is Edwin Drood dead or alive? Mr. Charles Dickens experimented with many different titles for a story. For example,
The loss of Edwin Drood. The flight of Edwin Drood.
The disappearance of Edwin Drood.
but nor the death or murder of Edwin Drood. On the other hand, many would say a mystery without a murder is not a mystery at all. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, our questions shall be answered primarily by you. But in a daring and perhaps dangerously democratic move, Musical Royale has granted our cast the right to vote upon one key issue each night. And so, my fellow acolytes of the thespianic persuasion, tonight your question shall be, Mr. Throttle?
Is Edwin Drood dead or alive? Miss Nutting, who has a vested interest in the outcome, will kindly turn her back to the cast. Ladies, gentlemen, as your whim takes you this evening, all those who believe Edwin Drood is dead, please raise your hands now, if you please. Thank you. Now, all those who believe Edwin Drood is alive, do the same now, if you please. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Miss Nutting, but you snuffed it! By a massive majority, I fear! And our next key question, Mr. Throttle.
Who is the detective Dick Datchery?
Well, we can now safely eliminate Edwin Drood from that consideration, since our cast has voted him dead for the remainder of the evening.
Ha! I'm ready! Ha! Ha! You absolute envious little shit! It's obvious to everyone here that Drood, that I am Datchery, and it is even more transparent that this petty, jealous cat basically resents any attention I've received from the local press. Goodbye, all!
You have no idea the week we've had with her. First, her dressing room was too small. Then, her mustache was too long. I told her she was splitting hairs. Now, please yourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, I must apologize for this bit of unpleasantry in what I'm sure you'll agree has been an otherwise flawless evening. But in all fairness to our cast and to our story, I must strenuously point out that many literary experts disagree with Miss Nutting's contention that Edwin Drood and Datchery are one and the same person. Indeed, there are several prime candidates behind the face of Datchery's beard. For instance, I offer you Helena Landless. About her, Neville, revealed in Act 1.
In desperation, Helena tried on more than one occasion to flee our stepfather's cruel and miserly hand, even disguising herself as a boy.
A hit! A palpable hit! But is it a meaningful thrust or a misdirection? Wouldn't Helena Landless be fearful of pursuing John Jasper under the given circumstances?
Not under any circumstances.
But the candidate's hardly in there. What do you say of Bazard?
I love the theatrical world, but there are other stages beyond the proscenium. I long to play a larger part.
Who more likely to don such melodramatic garb and seek the spotlight? Why otherwise does he tell a story at all?
From my earliest remembrances, I have been secret and revengeful.
Ooh. Who more likely to investigate the disappearance of Edwin Drood than he is most suspected of foul play? Or did someone else wish to clear Neville's name?
Neville has been entrusted to my care.
The Reverend Mr. Chris Sparkle, whose passions and energy lay hidden beneath his clerical garb. Perhaps he's adopted another uniform, that of Datchery, to stay the lad who's been his charge or responsibility. And then there's the puzzling and intriguing possibility of Rosa. Could it be that we have underestimated the resourcefulness of this woman child? Did she take it upon herself to investigate the disappearance of Edwin Drood? Looks can be deceiving.
I'll say.
This much I do know for certain. Datchery is not John Jasper, the Princess Puffer, Durdle's deputy, or even my own Mayor Thomas Sapsey. For in Mr. Dickens' novel and in our play, they all appear in scenes with him. Which leaves us with the following candidates for the role of Detective Dick Datchery. And may I suggest we do it the way it is done in amateur theatrical contests. As the handkerchief is held above each candidate, pray applaud for your favorite one. And please, do remember, ladies and gentlemen, we still have larger decisions still to make. Soon, we shall be asking who the murderer of Edwin Drood is. So don't merely vote for whichever cast member is a distant relative of yours, for heaven's sake. Mr. Throttle, if you please.
The ecstatic ecclesiastic Reverend Chris Sparkle. The tempestuous Helena Landless. The underrated Mr. Bazard. The lovely Miss Rosa Budd. And all the way from Ceylon, Mr. Neville Landless.
Very good. Bazard shall be our Datchery tonight. Best believe. You'd best make a quick change of costume. I can see several members of our audience more than ready to assist you in the process. And now to a much more serious matter. For now, as an
You have not seen the last of me yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, I must apologize. You see, such appalling behavior is due entirely to upbringing. Her parents were in the iron and steel business. Her mother irons, her father steels. So that's the mood we're going to be in tonight. Which brings us, ladies and gentlemen, to a much more serious matter. For now, as in all great mystery stories, we must find ourselves a killer, a culprit, a fiend. In short, the murder of the dear, departed, late, lamented character of our play, Edwin Drood. Drood! Oh, shut up! One more like that, and I'll send you all back to the Salvation Army. We'll have you standing on the ring singing, Jesus wants me for a sunbeam. Who killed Edwin Drood? Who shall be our murderer for tonight? First, for your consideration, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the most obvious candidate for the part, Mr. Clyde Paget as John Jasper! Oh, come now, ladies and gentlemen. Do you not know here at the Musical Royale, we boo and hiss the villain? No! It's too late for that now. We'll have to do the whole thing over again. Now, we're going to do this until you get it right. And if you don't, we're all going to form a line right here and sing 83 courses of The Church Bell Won't Ring Because the Vicar's Got the Clapper. We will ruin your evening. Here we go. Last chance. I give you the most obvious chance for the part of the villain this evening. Mr. Clyde Paget as John Jasper! Come now, ladies and gentlemen, let's do be serious. I ask you, is this the face of a murderer? Yes, well, more appropriately, is this all there could be to the mystery of Edwin Drood, that John Jasper, the most obvious villain of the piece, did indeed kill his nephew, Edwin Drood, in a hopeless attempt to win the love of the family's rose of blood? Well, rather than the mystery! That's taking the wind out of your sails, hasn't it, Big Mouse? Rather than the mystery. So how stand you? For the obvious answer, a far more perplexing solution. Now certain cast members can be safely eliminated from the bidding. Young Deputy and my own Mayor Sapsy were without question intended for comic relief. Which leaves us with the following candidates for the role of the murderer.
Princess Papa! Who am I? And what am I?
Neville Landis. In all honesty, I cannot recall anything of what transpired once Edwin and I reached the river. But he was an odious little twit, and he deserved what he got.
Rose the blood. Why on earth would someone as pure and innocent as myself murder my own true Ned?
The Reverend Mr. Crisparkle. Have I in some way confused my mission here on earth?
Turtles, I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than give Drood a frontal lobotomy.
Helena Landless, did I, in trying to save my brother, bring harm to Edwin Drood?
John Jasper. Thank you very much. Oh, I have stood in the cold shade of suspicion since our story began.
Time, ladies and gentlemen, time at last to decide. And may I suggest, for the sake of accuracy, we vote by a show of hands. So let's bring up the house lights and we'll begin. Is this what I've been dealing with all night? Why don't you all join hands and try contacting the living? No matter, let's proceed post-haste to the voting. Members of our company are even now circulating among you to count your vital votes. 5. No!